Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the podcast.
This is Amateur Hour,
Back again for the first time.
and not the last.
How are you, Mr. Phantasmo?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's hiding in the dark.
I'm great.
see you.
I'm real great.
You're great?
How's everyone? Every other two of you guys.
Every other. There's like 6 people in here.
Announce everybody.
Announce everyone.
Tiny Tim.
I knew you were going to do a voice like that. You're such a fucking idiot.
Tiny Tim is here.
I can't even do it. Hey, Tiny, how are you?
I'm great.
Oh my
A
god.
little weirdo.
Well, Tiny Tim's here. So, anything else?
That's it. End of the podcast.
It.
All right, cool.
End it.
Welcome to Amateur Hour.
Home of the
Brave.
Whopper Jr.
The
Whopper Jr.
The
and
Brave Whopper Jr. Gosh, it's been a long week, guys. How have you guys been?
Who?
Oh, there's been a lot of things going on.
No, there has
A
not.
ton of things.
Nothing's gone on.
It's funny. It's funny how when we get here when we all get together to do this podcast, how Zach walks in and nobody says anything in the living room
And just
for
stares
like
at me.
20 minutes. Yeah, but still you sit down and you're just eating your
My salad.
dinner.
My
You
dinner.
always
And
have your Panera.
my Panera salad.
That's our ritual. Our ritual is you come in, you eat your Panera. I'm probably on the couch playing Hearthstone. Jim's probably on the other couch, like listening to music. or
Laying all
something.
weird on the chair.
If we don't say anything to each other.
No.
because we want to save it all. We want to save
It's
it all
all
for the
saved up.
podcast.
Saved up in there.
And then we come downstairs. We all get naked, lather each other up,
spank each other's asses.
flip on the mics, and here we are.
We're ready to
It's
rock.
a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful morning.
Goodness gracious. Well, what have you guys been doing?
Oh wow, what have you been doing?
Well,
I thought it was an open question.
Zach wants to go.
No, see, it started off. I felt like you were taking control of the podcast. And normally, I asked that question, so I had
Yeah.
to flip it around on you.
Oh, you had to bring it back.
I can't have you taking control.
I have to take control.
Not now.
A lot, not now. Most times your control is just. Sometimes it's lacking.
It's lackluster.
Yeah.
Release it.
Yeah. Okay. This just in. Jim's not on the next podcast.
Oh my God.
Daddy says no more.
Daddy says no more. Headline.
Have fun trying to record it.
Oh.
Oh.
The jabs are coming.
You guys are going to be listening to the podcast on your tape player.
No, I'm just going to go give everyone cups attached to string.
Yeah, it's going to be
Please listen to us.
Please, it's a big network.
Tune
string.
in. So what's up? What have you guys been up to?
Well, what have you been up to, Zach, since you started to answer that question?
They're falling into
Whoa.
my evil plan.
Well, this weekend we went to Andre's house and we
Oh, wow.
go-kart raced.
Is it weird that completely skipped my mind?
Yeah, that did.
Was that?
I forgot we did go-karts.
Yeah.
You guys forgot?
We
Well,
did
we
a
got
little-
in a completely insane accident.
Oh, geez, we had a go-kart wreck
Oh,
for the
you guys
ages.
can't cut to the meat of the story.
Okay.
Cut to the meat.
Okay, well, we
That's
did.
just like being.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the story of Romeo
Well,
and
what?
Juliet, and they
both
both died. But
What?
let's start in the beginning.
What meat is there?
No, you could have built it up a little bit more. Like, you just make it seem like, yeah, it was just another day. We went over and it was
It
really
was just
fun.
another day we go-kart
we,
racing.
we went and revved up the engines, and we were all just racing, and then we were just like, oh, maybe we'll just do one more race for the day. And
On the short track.
all of a sudden, on this short little circle track, and then all of a sudden,
the first turn.
boom.
Wipe out.
It would
Zach
be you two.
just T-bones me. Was it a T-bone?
It was more like, okay, I tried to go low, and you and Griffin were going a little outside, but you cut your turn really, really sharp at the end, and so I clipped your back wheel, made you roll over, and I went, woo!
Yeah,
Sky high, and I flew out of my car.
Yeah. We both of our cars flipped over, and both of us were on the ground.
And I thought one of you was at least
Severely
dead,
injured,
and the other one was probably gonna have a broken arm.
Oh yeah, we thought I was laying there on the ground. And I was like, oh my God, am I intact? And then I get up and I look over and Zach's lifeless on the ground.
Yeah, yeah. Zach,
Everybody thought you were hurt.
you were face down in the grass, just not moving, and I was
Because
like,
I was laying there and being like, holy shit, what just happened?
Yeah, and I wasn't racing. I was
Spectating.
I was a spectater. I also was recording every single race other than
judge.
that on my dad's phone. He's like, "Hey, you should record some of this." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." And then come the last race, I was like, "I don't want to record this one. I just want to watch." And of course, it's the one that you
The
get
first
into
turn.
the greatest
In
wreck.
a huge wreck.
Oh man.
But yeah,
After that we were done.
It was insane. I ran over. I was like, "Oh shoot, Zach, something's wrong with Zach." And then I just hear you busting up laughing.
Because
like,
I was like,
Because I got up and I went over to make sure you're good, and then I just started laughing my ass off when I knew you were good.
yeah.
oh dude, it's just so crazy. Like we all kept spinning out all the time because we were like,
Well,
Andre was like,
don't use
the brake at all. Just slow down to the turn.
You're
All I
not-
see is Jim just flooring it and then spinning out in the middle. And I'm so afraid I'm
Yeah.
gonna like ramp him and cut his head off.
Well,
or
that was
something with my
something
cart.
that was a rule that was instilled to me as a young child growing up with those go-karts was you don't use the brakes. You don't use the brakes at all.
yeah.
And so I just I never use the brakes just because that's what I learned to do. I just let off the brake.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not.
You still have the gas.
You're supposed to
Yeah,
decelerate
yeah.
into the turn and accelerate through the turn.
Yeah,
So, like,
and I mean, maybe we should clarify. These are, I mean, they're pretty
they're dirt
powerful.
track.
They're powerful go karts, but they're not like the indoor pavement go karts
Yeah,
where they're
the
going
dirt
like
track kind.
like 40, 50
How
miles
fast
an
are we
hour.
going?
Probably like
Oh, I
30,
don't know.
25, 30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like
We
that.
were going super fast.
But I mean,
if
yeah,
we were
you-
going super
But
fast,
you also
we
you
would
also
have been
have,
fucked up.
You also have the grass and the. Well, you guys weren't going that fast into that turn. That was the first turn of the race. Like
Yeah,
you guys
thank
weren't going
God.
that fast.
Yeah.
You were going fast enough to get you to spin out into each other and then flip over.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, you weren't. It's not like you one of you started at one end of the track, one of you started at the other. You just collided.
If we did that, we would have been really fucked up because there's no rails on the front. That's
Yeah.
all I was thinking about when Jim was spinning out. I was like, what if someone just happens to like head-on collision with Jim? That's gonna ramp his fucking thing and just run right into his face.
Yeah.
Or
Well, I mean-
mine too. That's
well,
why I
I
was
mean,
so afraid
the
of
go
that.
karts they came with like they call them roll cages, which are like kind of bars that go out in front of you on and attached to the from behind you,
Yeah.
the top of the seat, and then attached to the the front of the go kart. So and they're called roll cages because if you roll, it's just meant to keep you rolling or keep your head from hitting the ground before
Or
the roll
or
cage
when you
does.
Yeah.
roll out of the cart and the cart just keeps rolling.
I don't think that's what it's designed for.
Well, there's no seatbelts, so you're gonna
Yeah.
either
But I mean, if you roll out of the cart, then that's more dangerous because then you have the chance of the cart
rolling
on top
onto
of
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I remember another story into that. My dad, when I was younger, my dad used to race like four-wheelers, and four-wheelers obviously don't have roll cages or anything, and they're so easily to like tip over. So he's going around this curve, probably like 45, 50 miles an hour. All I see him just flip over, and the four-wheeler just goes boom, just slams on him and just rolls off of him.
Yeah.
And he's just laying there like, luckily, he just knocked the wind out
There's
of
a
him. but it was-
video of that?
No, there's no video.
Oh,
Like
never.
not like the video.
hey, guess what,
on-
Zach?
on-
It didn't happen as far as I'm concerned.
But it's
Okay.
not
No
on
video.
video. It didn't
No
happen.
video didn't happen. According to everyone else on the internet too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't happen. Oh,
God's
that
not
happened?
real.
Didn't happen.
That's why I was so mad when I didn't get that wreck on film because I was just like, man, we could have just like upload that to the little podcast file.
I know that'd have been sick.
We
Yeah.
could just put that in the background, and everybody could. There's no videos
It's
ever on
just
this
a repeat of
podcast.
the, it's just a GIF of the
Yeah, over and over again. It's the whole podcast. Yeah, maybe it's a
Oh.
good thing we didn't get it on tape.
Yeah.
We would have the three of us would have thought it was way cooler than everyone else because
when
we
you're
were
in an
there.
accident, you think it's way cooler than
Yeah.
than when it actually is.
No, it was tight though. That was fun. We had a lot of fun.
Have
I
you
still
guys-
got a big old bruise on my thigh.
Do you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so do I.
You know, that's unrelated.
The
That was
left,
from later
the
that
left
night.
inner thigh.
Yes.
Yes, dude. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the turning
Yeah, you
part.
guys,
and
you
just
guys
shut the
don't
fuck
remember?
up.
You guys don't remember
Let me
getting
see
drunk
your
and
bruise.
having a brother pact? Ew. Jim just showed us his dick.
Is yours in the same? Is yours in the same
It's
position?
like right here.
Is your,
Show it to me.
Is yours in the
It's
same
not like
position?
I can feel it. You
Show me
can't
that
see it.
dick.
Show daddy his dick.
Show daddy your dick.
Okay.
Oh god.
Have you guys ever been telling a story to somebody that it was something that you thought was really cool that happened,
Yeah.
and then you're like telling them and it's not really catching, and or even like a group of people and you're telling the story and like you're like, all right, by this time in the story I should be getting reactions and I'm looking and I'm not seeing anything. So then you just like add things into
Or
the
you like
story.
hurry up and try to
Yeah.
finish
Yeah.
it.
No, I don't think I've ever hurried.
You try to get to like the meaty part. You try to get like you're like trying to explain the
No,
story. and everyone's
there's
just, like,
never
looking at you
trying to
like,
get
what?
to the meaty part with you, Zach. You cut straight to the chase. So
Straight to the meat.
let's say you're telling the story, you cut straight to the chase, and then no one is like reacting at all. Would you?
That happens a
continue?
lot with you.
Would
You mean you telling a story to Andre?
And I just don't react.
I don't know.
Okay,
I feel like when people don't react, though, I'm like, you asshole.
that's what you say.
Yeah, I think to myself,
In
like,
your
what a
head?
fucking
Because
bastard.
I've been like telling stories and stuff, especially. I find it's to like groups of people that I don't know that well, so maybe they don't understand. Like I have a very dry, sarcasm-y way about some of the things that I say
Yeah.
and some of the stories that I tell. But if you don't know that about me, you might think I'm just being serious. So sometimes when I first meet like a group of people or just somebody in general, I'll start talking to them, and then I'll like crack a joke, and I'll realize that they didn't realize that was a joke. So
Yeah.
I'll just have
But
to
they take
like,
it serious. Yeah.
yeah, so I'll just kind of like have to expand on it a little bit more just to make sure they don't think like I hate them or something.
Yeah.
Because I have a very snide way of cracking jokes sometimes though. And
I've noticed that about you though, where I've been like I've introduced you to people and you're like, dude, your friend's a dick.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, no.
I remember when Mike introduced me to his girlfriend Holly, and she like did not like me at all because I was just making fun of her the entire time.
Yeah.
With like I guess like I get the same looks. Like it's always
Yeah,
like the weird
that'd be
looks,
really.
like,
Yeah, I'm sure she'd like you.
not like that.
I was just making fun of her the entire time. I don't know why she didn't like me.
Like I was just cracking like sarcastic jokes or something, and she looks
Bitch,
at you
you're
like,
ugly.
JK
kidding.
girl.
I'm
JK.
just kidding.
Just
JK.
fucking kidding. Jesus.
You're fucking ugly.
Jesus, you ugly
You
bitch.
look like you got hit by a truck. I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding, man.
Oh my god.
But for real though, I wouldn't fucking touch you.
Oh man.
No, just kidding. No, but where were you going with that though?
No, that was pretty much.
Nowhere?
It reminded me of like when you guys were telling the go-kart story, and
Oh.
like
On
if you were telling that story to somebody and they were just like they're like, oh what,
would've been a
and then,
little
and then
bit
you're
better.
just like, and then all of a sudden Jim's cart caught on fire and we had to run away and it exploded.
That's what I felt like because I went to work and people were like, "What'd you do this weekend?" I was like, "I went go-karting and I got in a huge wreck."
Yeah.
And I cut straight to the meat because I was so excited about the meat.
Yeah.
That's what I did at work.
You did?
Yeah,
Did you
my
really?
boss walked in. He's like, "So, how was your weekend?" And I was like, "I went go-karting and I got in a crazy wreck." Yeah, and he just like looked at me like, "What else happened?" Nothing. I got up and walked away.
That's
He's
exactly.
looking at
That's
it, he's like,
exactly.
shit.
That's
and I'm
your
like, I
whole
ruined
story?
that. I ruined that shit,
I know.
man.
I was like, I should have led up to it. Like we had a few beers and then we got going faster. And then
and first when you started, Griffin was going really, really slow.
yeah, you get told all these great details, but
Yeah, there's
no.
so many.
That
mini
would have led up
stories.
to like the more of a gripping story.
Yeah, yeah.
He looked at me. He was like, "Why'd you wasted 5 minutes of my life?
Waste my life.
And then he fired you. So
You're fired.
You're fired. Fucking
Get out of here, you fucking
shitty go-kart driver.
you idiot."
so anything else? I mean, that was one day.
That was one
We
day.
had a long Memorial Day weekend.
We did.
And I'm sure for maybe some of our viewers, they're just went straight into summertime. So, I mean, what did we do?
Summer,
What did we do to
summer,
celebrate their
summertime.
summer initiation?
Oh gosh, we
we do-
drank a lot.
Wow, yeah,
Drank every day.
we drank every day,
All night,
which is
every day.
healthy. You want to stay hydrated. So.
You do. You have to continuously dump alcohol into your liver for you to stay hydrated during
Yeah, we
summertime.
drank a lot this weekend.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you. Did we now?
Why don't you explain? that
We
one?
drank a lot.
No. What else did we do? We played a lot of disc golf.
disc golf.
A lot of
Poison
Poison Ivy.
golf.
It's starting to, yeah. It's starting to just rule our life. But yeah, so we were playing disc golf. I was with Zach and my cousin and Morgan, and we were playing disc golf. And the first hole, I got my disc. I threw my disc, and it went into the woods. And I was like, "This is a great start for the first hole."
Yeah.
Is this
for
like
people
the
for
first
people
time
who
we
are
went or
for
second?
people who are unfamiliar with disc golf, it's I don't know. Have we
Yo,
did we
last
explain
last
Last
podcast.
did we,
podcast.
did
We
we
explained
explain
it,
what
yeah.
it was?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, but basically it's
Golf.
similar to golf that if you screw up your shot, you're going to be in the grass.
In the grass or in the woods?
In the grass, woods. If you screw up your shot more, you're in the woods.
Yeah, it depends on where you're playing.
But yeah, so this first hole is like it's an open area where you throw it, and then it gets real condensed, like a
Narrow?
bottleneck, into a little path that you're supposed to throw it through, and then it opens back up where the hole is. So you kind of got to thread the needle, I guess. And I didn't thread the needle, so
I don't think any of us did. We
Yeah.
all threw in the woods.
yeah. And that's always great when there's a group behind you waiting, and all 4 of you throw it in the woods, and you're like, well, I hope you guys are ready to wait 20 minutes
You guys
because
are gonna be waiting.
We gotta go
look
find
for
these.
these
yeah.
discs.
So it went into the woods, and I was able to find it, which was good. And I was able to like walk right down the woods and immediately spot it. So then you're like, all right, that's sweet. At least I don't have to go digging for it. And so I was in the woods, and like I said, I was at the beginning. I was before the bottleneck, so I wasn't gonna try and throw it out. I wasn't gonna try to throw my disc out to the bottleneck area and then back to the hole. I was just like, I'm just gonna cut straight through the woods.
Oh yeah.
So I did the tomahawk like you did.
Nice.
Where I was like, I'm just gonna tomahawk it over all these trees. Ideally, in my mind, over all the trees, land right by the hole. I'll just skip some steps and maybe be able to pick myself back up again from the first hole.
Yeah,
you know,
Phil
you're always
Mickelson.
so optimistic on the first hole. So I throw it tomahawk style. It goes tomahawk, so it's like vertical, and it goes straight by a tree, and it gets pinned in between the tree and a vine.
What?
Like literally wedged in there.
Oh my! What are the chances?
Yeah, and then what are the chances, I'm thinking, that I get that out? Because the way I threw it in there, I forced it into like a wedge, and then it was just stuck there. So I'm trying to throw my discs at it, like my other 2 discs at it, and then I started throwing rocks at it, and I'm just like, this thing is not coming down. So I did what any sensible person would do, because it was my favorite disc out of my 3. I'm just like, this is my favorite disc. I have to go get it. So it was between a tree and a vine. So I just held onto the vine. It was like a clump of vines, and I was just climbing the vine.
Oh my
and I was
God.
doing it
Like
like
George of the Jungle.
With just your hands, so
not-
you're pulling your whole body up with just your arms.
No, he was like,
yeah,
he was like
I was
shimmying
bracing
up a bit.
Yeah, no, I wasn't shimmying. I was bracing. I was holding onto the vines, and I was putting my feet on the tree as well, and kind of just like climbing with my hands, and then just like climbing with my feet as well. Like just
Was there no branches?
no.
No.
Wow.
It was just a
You're
vine.
Just climbing
Just
up a
a
vine
vine.
in a tree trunk.
Yeah, well, it was
Like,
a
it was
clump
like thick,
of vines.
It was like a thick vine.
Yeah, it was a
Wow.
pretty thick vine, but and yeah, no, and then as I'm starting to climb up, it's just like things, the vines
Like
are like
falling apart.
snapping and
Oh,
falling, and I'm just
Jesus.
like, I'm
How,
just gonna.
how
I'm-
high up was it?
It was
Probably good, like,
decent.
10 feet.
Yeah,
10 feet up
Okay,
in the
10
air.
feet.
yeah,
alright.
it was pretty decent.
But if he fell, he would have like fell right into like the ravine and like on this like little like cement thing that
Yeah.
divided and let the water go through. He
Yeah.
would have fallen that.
Jesus, a
he would have got
cement
pretty
ravine.
fucked up.
Okay.
Yeah, a cement ravine.
Like not like a pipe.
Yeah,
Pipe or
so
whatever.
I'm climbing up there, and about 3/4 of the distance up, I'm just like, I'm not physically able to do this. Like, I'm not fit enough to do this. I can't remember the last time I climbed anything like this. So I mustered up all the strength I could just to get up there, and I'm able to get my disc and knock it off, and then I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna slide down this tree. So that's when I do like a fire pull, like a big
God.
fire pull, like I wrap my arms and legs around it, and I just kind of slide down.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, it was a horrible idea. I ended up putting a hole in my shorts, like right underneath. I think I showed you actually when we went out that night, because I didn't realize it
I was
until
drunk.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until we were out, and I was just
Oh, that's
like,
when you
sitting-
guys went to Pint House.
yeah, I was sitting in the stool, and then I was just like, I had to itch myself. So I like went down there, and I was like, oh my God, this is like my bare underwear that I'm itching right now. And so I don't know how noticeable it is, but there was a hole. And then the worst part of the story is now I have poison ivy I'm assuming it's poison
God.
oak. And it's just like, anywhere that my body would have touched, I'm just covered in poison ivy now. So that's really great.
Oh
and
my
I've
gosh.
never had poison ivy before in my life.
What?
Ever. So I know I've gone through it. Like, my parents' property is right next to the woods. Like, half of our property is woods. Like, we used to go out there all the time. I just thought I was pretty much impervious to the plant that is poison ivy. So
Yeah.
it might be like poison oak or something. I don't know if
Well,
someone
no,
can be
poison ivy
immune to
is
poison
like,
ivy.
It's on those vines.
Yeah, well, that could have been poison oak as well.
Could have been.
Like, poison oak could have been like on the tree.
Yeah.
That could have been a poison oak tree.
Let it be.
It's a poison oak tree.
Yeah. So I guess maybe I'm not completely immune to it. I just have to come in extreme contact with it.
Yeah, like
in order
rubbing
to get
your
anything.
crotch on it.
Yeah, like just completely. Like it was definitely when I slid down that tree.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
jeez.
been a great thing for me. I don't know how long poison ivy lasts, but I'm hoping it doesn't last too long.
God.
Because it's not too bad when I'm up and around and doing things and moving and everything, but it's when I sit down like at work at my desk and I have nothing else
It's
to
just
think
so
about
bad.
besides that. And it's like always in the morning, I'll just be like, yeah, I'm feeling fine. And all of a sudden I'm just like, wait, shouldn't I be thinking about something? And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, you have poison ivy.
Yeah, you poison ivy.
And it just never leaves me. all
I heard
day.
if you burn it off.
Dude, that is so weird because I thought about that the other day. I was just like, what if I just set this poison ivy on fire? I'll have a huge burn and it'll probably hurt really bad, but at least I won't itch
Or
everywhere.
you could just
Yeah,
buy
but then it would just
Benadryl.
burn.
No, I bought cortisone cream.
That's good for it.
Which is it's
Yeah.
It was,
I have some special made cream I
At the-
could give you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I figured maybe
it
we
dense?
can mix the cortisone with your special cream.
Oh, it'll be quarter cream.
Quarter paste.
I'll give you a whole
Quarter
quarter paste. No, when we went,
Extra sticky.
I went discing at a different course than you two did this weekend. Mm-hmm. And I got out of the car. I went with Kevo.
You gonna
and-
keep tapping on the table, Kevo?
Oh, sorry about that. and I get out of the car. Kevo's there. He gets out of his car. Kevo gets out of his car barefoot. And I was like, I'll slap. Are you trying to disc barefoot? Because it's really hot. And he's like, no, I got these flops. And I'm thinking to myself,
His holy flops.
his holy flip flops. And I'm like, dang, bro, we should disc golf barefoot.
Yeah.
And he's like, you want to? And I was
Said
like,
nobody ever.
Let's do it.
Oh, I bet that hurt fucking
We disc
really
golfed
bad.
18 holes barefoot, and what we didn't know, because the course that we went starts out in the woods, and what we forgot was that the whole path is rocks.
Oh my god.
Wow.
So we're just like, oh, and we're trying to like walk in the mud at times and stuff. And one time we got his disc lost in the high grass for 30 minutes, and
Oh
we were just
my
in this
God.
high grass,
Just suffering.
just suffering.
Suffering, tearing
I got
your feet up.
cut up. I was bleeding on my foot.
You trying to
But-
get them hobbits feet, eh?
Yeah, it was good. I like doing barefoot. I'd do it again.
Really?
Yeah, but shoot, man,
12 year feet.
12 years a slave.
Feet.
Yeah, but that was a good disc golfing. Great time.
It is a great
Don't go
time.
barefoot though.
Don't go barefoot.
Wear
No, I'd
flip-flops.
highly recommend if it's your first time going disc golfing, you might as well go barefoot.
Might as well
You
experience
gotta
it
you gotta
fully.
bleed the course in order to
Gotta
get
bleed the
any
course.
good.
Nobody makes you bleed my own blood.
Nobody.
Besides the course.
So, I mean, how about video game wise? Has anybody done? Oh wait,
What?
had to sneeze, but it went away. Wow, it actually made me cry because I think I held it back, unbeknownst to
I
myself.
see you, eyes
A
watering.
little watery. Any video game playing?
Shoot, I did play some video games this weekend.
Yeah.
Did I tell you?
You seem unsure about that.
I am a little.
I-
The look on your face looks.
I can
maybe
think
I
of,
played
can think
these.
of one big accomplishment that you did this weekend in video games.
One big accomplishment in video games that I did do was I beat Spelunky.
Oh
Boom.
no way!
Yes,
He beat it.
Awesome.
It was sick.
He beat what I will call like the first stage because you didn't make it to hell.
I didn't
yet.
get to go to hell.
Yeah, so unfortunately you didn't get to go to hell.
Unfortunately, no. But I know how to go to hell now.
Yeah.
And I think I can do it. I think I might do it after we record this podcast, actually.
Really?
Just thinking about it makes me get a boner.
Yeah.
But
Woo!
but what happened is I got to the City of Gold in Spelunky, right? We talked about this last time when I got to the City of Gold. And then I got to the final boss, Olmec, and he just rapes me. I couldn't figure out how to do it. I had a dream about it.
You had a dream.
I swear to God, I had a dream, and I was like, what if I just got to the final boss and I had a shitload of bombs and I just dug my own hole and then had him jump in the hole and he dies? And so I did exactly that and killed him.
And
it was
worked.
awesome, and it
Yeah.
worked, and I won.
And the way the boss fight works, I don't know if you've
Did you have to
explained
survive?
it.
How'd you survive?
Yeah. Well, he had a jetpack.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a
holy
jetpack.
Shit,
Yeah.
Really?
It was
Yeah.
like it was perfect. And the way the boss fight works is basically there's this Olmec is this huge face statue.
Yeah.
And he just comes and he raises up and he smashes down, he
Oh,
raises up and
okay.
he smashes down. And you have to basically go underneath him and
like
then he'll
timing.
smash down really hard to try and kill you. And when he does that, he also destroys blocks underneath him. So basically you just have to keep going until he destroys all the blocks all the way down to the floor, which is lava, and then you'll fall in the lava and die. So Jim had the idea a smart idea just to bomb the hole first, and it worked out perfectly because Olmec was just over to the left-hand side of the level, just not doing anything. He
yeah,
was-
if you don't get close to him, he won't move.
Yeah.
So I just left him over there.
Yeah.
And I dug a hole on the other side of the level.
Yeah, Jim's busy excavating while Olmec's just busy contemplating. I don't even know what, but and then he just comes over to him, and then he gets him to fall down the hole, and boom, there it is. So yeah,
It was so
It was
easy.
pretty anticlimactic once you actually figured it out. You're just like, oh yeah, I actually just beat it. But
Yeah.
it's
I was like,
still,
that was really cheap.
It's still a good accomplishment nonetheless. Like if you try and think about compared to how many people have played that game, how many people have actually beaten it. Like think about how many hours.
I mean,
you
it's a
put in.
lot of hours. Because you start and restart every time, and the levels become random. So it's just like you could get a good level at the beginning of the map and be like, "Oh, I'm on a roll. I'm about to get to the game," and then right before the end of the battle, you just fall
There
off the
have
edge.
been so many times, where I'm just like, all right, I'm just sitting there, and then I'll just like be doing something else, and I'll just keep hearing you go, fuck. But then all of a sudden, like I'll look up and after you haven't yelled in a while, and you'll be like, you'll have the jetpack, and you'll have like all this gold, and you'll
Yeah, I
have
don't like
everything.
to announce anything yet.
Yeah,
Like,
and then all of a sudden, like a monkey tackles you, and you fall on spikes and die. It's just like that game is the most unforgiving game ever. But which is even more impressive, like to be able to beat it. Like not many people can say that. I guess it's even now. It's like, what do you think when people play the games? Like, what percentage of games that people play do you think they actually go all the way through to the end and beat? Because there's some games that are like Spelunky where it's just like, I guess the difficulty barrier is in the way of beating it.
Yeah.
But there's also some games that are just like, maybe, like there's been some games, especially on iPad, I guess, because there's so many games that come out for iPad, and they're short, and like some of them are story driven, and some of them are just like meant so you can play over and over again, and eventually you'll beat it. But
Yeah.
I just find myself constantly moving on to the next game, and a game has to really grab me and really be like one of my favorite games for me to beat it.
Yeah.
Which is something that I don't feel like used to be the case. Like I feel like it used to be you would just buy a game and beat it. Maybe that's just because like back in the Super Nintendo days and everything, there wasn't as many publishers and there wasn't as many developers.
Right.
So you didn't have maybe that many choices. Or maybe it was just because I was really young and I didn't
know.
I didn't have I just my parents were like, we're just gonna buy you one video game per month. Like we're not gonna
Per month?
Well, I don't know what the,
I got like
what
one
the
per
regiment
year.
was.
I know. Like,
Oh no,
shit.
I frequented Blockbuster
Oh,
quite
yeah.
often. So
Oh, yeah.
But
That was
it's not
my
like
other
you
place.
had any way, because when we were little kids, we didn't really have like the internet, so it's not like we knew what games were out. Like
Yeah.
my parents got me Earthbound when I was a little kid. For some freaking reason, they got me that game, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But like I had no idea what it was. I was just, my parents got it for me, and I was like, I guess I'll play this.
Yeah.
And then I played it, and it was too hard for me when I was little.
Yeah, but that's weird though, and that's actually pretty awesome. The fact that we didn't have the internet, so there wasn't a like unanimous list of games to play.
Yeah.
Because you played Earthbound, I never played Earthbound ever.
Yeah.
And then my thing was Pokemon. Like I played the crap out of Pokemon, and then like I'm sure just if we were able to go back and really think about like the one-off game, like I used to play the Home Alone game a lot
Yeah.
for Super Nintendo, and I used to play like the Toy Story game for Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And like you go to people's houses now, and I bet you'll see like Call of Duty, you'll see I don't know, like
Assassin's Creed,
Skyrim, and all
Yeah.
that. But like if you were to go to all of our friends' houses way back in the day when it was Super Nintendo, you'd see a very different collection
Oh,
of
yeah, everybody
games.
had different
Like yeah,
games.
you'd see Mario and you'd
Yeah.
see stuff like that. But then there were those games where it was just like like Shaq Fu. I think
Yeah.
I was talking about that the other day or the other one of the podcasts.
Yeah.
And it's just like I had Shaq Fu and I played the crap out of that game.
Yeah.
And you guys don't know
I
it.
used to have like a container full of like random ass games.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Like Power Rangers. Like I never really watched the show. Like
Yeah.
I maybe watched it here and there when I was little.
Yeah.
And I got Ninja Turtles in Time, and I got Home Alone. Like all these different eclectic games. It's so weird. Like baseball.
Yeah.
Like King Griffey Jr.
The
like,
old Star Wars games were pretty
Yeah,
sweet
those
too.
are fun. Yeah, it's just so
They're
weird.
crazy hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of Nintendo games were really hard.
There
Yeah.
was so I remember I had the Lion King game for Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't get past the first level.
But it's hilarious because how like our attention span has just depleted over the years because
Yeah.
we used to, even though you couldn't get past the first level, you'd still sit there and play it for hours.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you just keep playing and just be like, all right, well, I'm gonna try something different this
guess
time.
I'll try it.
Or I'm gonna try the same thing, but
Well,
I'm just gonna die.
I think I've become a better gamer as I've grown up, though, being like, oh, it's not possible that I can't beat this.
Yeah.
But when I was a little kid, I'd be like, well, this game's just fucking
This
impossible.
sucks.
So I quit.
Fuck this game.
Oh, so you quit then?
Like the Lion King, I quit.
Because
I never
especially
beat- I never beat
like
the first level.
especially the Star Wars game. Well, maybe the first level would be a little much, but I
Yeah.
remember the Star Wars games, like they were hard.
They were hard as shit, too.
There weren't save points and checkpoints back
No.
in the day.
yeah,
it was just
even like the only game I knew of that really had save points was like Mario.
yeah, but even
yeah.
then it was like you have a certain amount of lives.
Yeah, and if you die, you have to start all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was safe and checkpoints to a certain extent, but
Yeah.
but there were still times where like every time you booted up Mario
Oh,
for the
God.
Super Nintendo, you had to start over.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
because somehow like
before
your
memory
game was
cards-
erased, you'd be like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
how do you save this goddamn game?
Before memory cards, you didn't even think that was possible. You're just like, all right, well, I'm gonna sit
Gonna-
down. Today is Friday. I'm gonna sit down and beat the whole game,
Beat the whole
or else
game.
I can't.
My aunt actually beat the entire game of Mario.
Really?
Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane though, because I was like, all the levels were open. And I was like, what happened to my game?
Yeah.
Like when I got a little older, I was like, what the fuck happened? I didn't beat all this.
Because like when you were young and you got a Nintendo, like adults wanted to play Mario
yeah.
too. They were like, because adults knew about it. They were like, oh, it's fucking Mario. Let's
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
blasted.
Yeah, let's get blasted. Yeah, I remember when I first got the original Game Boy. My babysitter at the time, she would just steal my Game Boy and play Tetris on it because I had Tetris, and she's just like, "Hey, can I play Tetris?" I was just like, "Yeah, I guess." Only because I have a Super Nintendo in my room.
Yeah.
But still,
I
You
had
can play that Tetris over here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
try and fit my 4 long block into your Z.
Your 4 long block.
And a Z? There's a Z shape?
I don't know. There's no like vagina shaped Tetris block. So.
Z's as close as it gets.
Yeah.
A non-existent shape.
The S was a Z.
There's like a 2 and 2, like
Yeah.
offset.
Okay,
2
I, see,
offset.
I would more say it was an S than a Z, but
An S is a Z when you're talking about blocks.
I don't know.
It's the same thing.
No, I had a Looney Tunes game for Game Boy when it first came out, and it was another one of those games. They're just so hard. It was
Yep.
like, why do I even have this game?
Exactly.
I
I
can't
had a
get
Ren and
past it.
Stimpy game.
I had that for Nintendo,
yeah.
and that was
I had
super hard.
I had it for Game Boy, but it was just like all those games. There was just one level or one part of the level where you would just die every time, and you'd just be like, "All right, well, let's start again."
Again, here we go.
I just don't know how that was.
Did you guys play Killer Instinct?
No, I don't think I ever did.
Oh, dude, that game was the shit when you had your friends over. I used to invite all my friends over. They're like, "You have Killer Instinct? Let's come over and play." So
Killer
we'd come over.
Instinct.
Yeah,
So it's
see, I
basically
didn't
Mortal
have any-
Kombat.
I didn't have any friends.
Yeah.
That was the big thing.
Yeah.
I remember friends. Well, because you lived too far away.
Yeah. Well, the closest guy I lived by was AJ.
Yeah.
And I used to go over to his house. We used to play Army Men Sarge's Heroes.
Oh
That
my
used-
god, great game.
Yeah, that used
On
to be the
N64?
game. Yeah.
Oh, I had that game I loved that game.
Yeah.
And can you believe it?
That and WCW versus NWO
played-
Revenge.
Oh, that was the best wrestling game of all time.
Definitely.
I played
Sting.
GoldenEye
That
a
was
lot.
on Sting. Oh, GoldenEye.
Yeah.
You know what's
GoldenEye is
so
one of
funny?
those classics I think that fit in with Mario. I feel like everyone played a lot of GoldenEye back in the day.
Oh, played tons of it, but you know what? I went back, like going back and revisiting GoldenEye is like this is the worst game ever made.
You can't even look up or down.
You can't. You can't even look up or down.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, the control system, like, they didn't have dual joysticks.
No.
It was an N64 controller.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna
That
do?
thing was insane. Just going back to play with the N64 controller, you're like, oh my god, this
Yeah.
has so many buttons
Oh
for no
my
reason.
God. It
Some
was-
of the buttons
Yeah,
don't
the
even work.
How many times did you use the C button?
Never.
Like, what were they for? Sometimes they would just mirror the other buttons.
Yeah, they'd be duplicates.
Yeah, so when you'd accidentally press them, you just fuck yourself up. Just be like, oh, I accidentally pressed R1. Oh, wait, that was just the C button.
I didn't mean to jump there.
But
Fucking
yeah,
C
I don't
button.
know when they designed the controller. I feel like they had much higher expectations for the C buttons.
Yeah.
I feel like they had probably had more expectations of like different games involving a shitload of buttons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can say that for a lot of things, like the PS3 controller and the accelerometer. Like, how many games did you really use the accelerometer in?
What is that?
The accelerometer. So when you like tilt the controller,
Oh,
it, like,
okay.
tilts.
Yeah,
I
like
never
no
even used that.
games.
That's
Yeah.
why I don't even know about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like I don't know. It's the C buttons of the N60 or the
The PS3.
PS3 controller. So I don't know. I'm sure there have been other controllers like that where it's just like, yeah, we should add this. It's going to be really cool. And maybe from their perspective, in a certain set of rules, it would be cool. But I don't know. If the developers don't catch on to it and don't embrace it, then it's not going to be anything.
It's not gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, continuing on with games and stuff. Not this week, but
I
June.
feel like you could make that transition anywhere
Okay.
in any of our podcasts. But I'll just throw it out there.
Okay, but not this week. But June 9th, E3 is happening.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
E3.
there's a lot of cool titles coming out, but a lot of people are saying that this is not that cool of an E3 as last year's, because obviously Xbox One came out, PS4 came out. There's some cool titles along that were going to come out with it that have been delayed by a couple years now.
Yeah.
I would argue that this year's will be more exciting because when you have an E3 and consoles get announced, it's like, all right, cool. That's just the system that you're going to play the
Yeah.
games on. This E3 is going to be like, here's all the games that you can play for the new system.
And-
Right.
Yeah, and I didn't really agree with what that guy was saying in the video I was watching, because I was like, just what you just said. Like,
Yeah.
I bought a PS4 and I have no fucking games to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
how I can't wait to play some games. But there's some really cool games that are coming out. And one of them is the new Battlefield that looks pretty sweet. So it's more of a battlefield of like against drugs. So you like,
Oh, it's a drug war.
yeah, basically. So you can
So
be the
you're
cops.
shooting down Rasta men?
No, you can be either the cops or people
He's
that
smoking a blunt. Kill him.
Well, you can
No,
be either,
man.
No, man.
Peace and love.
Oh, don't shoot me, man.
Peace and love.
Want to smoke a joint?
Sorry, man. Well, it's against
that.
it's against like well, this Battlefield is more along the lines of like against people that like against robbers and stuff like that, bad guys.
Oh,
So
yeah.
again, like obviously the same premise, but
So
you're
Criminal
it's cops and
masterminds.
robbers.
yeah, it's basically cops and robbers. Yeah,
That's
so you like
sick.
drug dealers and
That's-
stuff like that.
Can you even call it a Battlefield game?
Well, it's
at that
Battlefield. I don't know. It's Battlefield Hardline. That's what they're calling it.
Okay.
And
Take a hard line against drugs.
point? Hard line.
hard against.
Take a hard line of cocaine
Hard line of
before you
cocaine.
do before you play.
But it looked pretty sweet. The video looked pretty cool.
So if you're the robbers, can you just like go around like doing drugs and like carrying prostitutes with you? Like, yeah,
It's-
we're
I feel
bad.
like it's more
prostitute bombs. Just throw it at
It's not a ballistic knife. It's syringes.
It's really-
He's high. Get him.
Yeah, you just become like one of the zombies from Left 4 Dead. And you just become super. But you can only
strong.
live for like 20 seconds
Yeah,
and then
he's
you're
coked
dead.
up.
He's coked
He's
up.
on heroin. Oh God, he just did freaking bath salts. He's gonna eat me. You can eat people if you have bath salts.
That's your loadouts, just different drugs. You don't have weapons.
No, but it looks pretty cool though.
Yeah.
So like it's more along the lines of like I feel like it's more like a Grand Theft Auto type feel, but still first person. It's not third person. So you can like hop on motorcycles.
still
and stuff like
primarily,
that.
multiplayer,
It's
though.
yeah. So it's more multiplayer than anything.
Yeah.
And a little bit more open world feeling to it because you can like
Well,
get in
Battlefield's always
cars.
had the open world.
Yeah, but now you can actually there'll be cars just sitting around. You can actually get inside them. That's what the
like
from the-
replacing tanks and stuff.
yeah. So
That's
like
sick.
and armored police vehicles and like bikes
Hmm.
and motorcycles and stuff like that. And there's zip lines now. You can like shoot a zip line. You have like these like gadgets and
Black
stuff.
Ops.
No, but now you
Is
have
that in Black Ops?
That was in Black Ops.
Well, I know, but now you have like a gadget. No, in the actual multiplayer, you can shoot a zip line across.
Oh,
or
you
shoot
have your
grappling
own.
hooks.
You have your own zip line.
Yeah, and you have grappling hooks. So you can throw grappling hooks on building and climb up them
Yeah.
Well, that's
and
insane.
tactically get in position. So it's more tactical of a battlefield than like the one prior to this.
You can use the environment a lot more.
by
at your
by
discretion.
utilizing the gadgets and stuff that you have.
Yeah.
So it looked pretty sweet. Some other games that are coming out are Mirror's Edge 2. I don't know.
Oh
Interesting.
God, I liked that game. I thought that game was awesome.
I thought that game was just dead. Like, how long has it been since the Mirror's Edge 1 came out? It's been forever.
Yeah, they
Probably
delayed
5-6 years.
They delayed it a little bit because they're waiting for the new consoles to come out, and obviously I think a lot of developers quit, and then they had to hire new ones, so it just kept pushing the timeline further. and
What
further out.
what publisher is that? Do you know?
No, I was just listening to this video today.
Did you guys like that game, Mirror's Edge, when it
You
came
know,
out?
I honestly think I might have played like the free demo for it, and I was like, this is a sweet game, and I've just never played it.
You just never played it?
No.
I think I might have played like half the game, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
Death defying.
free running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the sickest
It's
game
first
ever.
person, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
first person free running game.
You could see your feet.
Yeah, it's
Or
pretty,
your hands.
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
It was some crazy
and
shit
but the
you could
art
do.
style was something that would warrant it to be. I feel like it was pretty simple. So
Yeah.
so that's why I
Really?
don't.
But
Yeah,
The graphics were
I
really
thought
good.
the
I
graphics
thought.
like are insane looking.
I don't
even from
I don't-
the demo, like
I
the
mean,
actual the
I mean,
video
they
they had.
weren't that. I guess maybe they were. I mean, they were good.
I
but
thought they were.
weren't any-
I mean, they were good enough to scare you. Be like, holy shit, I'm fucking high up here.
Yeah, Yeah, but I mean, it was a lot of like white and red, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was the that was the main thing. It was like it was pretty geometric, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't see. I don't know. I guess if they were waiting for the next generation consoles, but I honestly could see it coming out earlier and then just having like a simple port. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe a lot of games are doing that, and I don't know how successful those games are being. Like the I don't know. What are some games that have come out? What is the one that Last of Us?
Yeah,
The Last of Us, how it's coming out with an HD
a remake for PS4.
yeah, and then there's like the Borderlands 2 Game of the Year edition or something like that
Yeah,
that's coming out.
Metro. They're coming out with all new Metro 2033 and the second one. They're
Oh,
just
okay.
coming. They're just coming out with it
Last Light.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Just re-release it.
HD.
Yeah,
Re-release
yeah.
for your PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
So like other games that are coming out, like obviously Star Wars Battlefront, they're gonna show more on that.
That's
It's
gonna
not coming
cool.
out till winter.
That's the game I'm most pumped
Yeah,
about.
and
Yeah.
then Far Cry 4 is coming out, so they're gonna have video obviously in that E3. Assassin's Creed Unity, The Division.
See, okay, second. The Assassin's Creed series, like,
I know, it's
is
been getting really-
incredible,
yeah.
but they just come out with games so fast.
There is a pretty big cult following for the Assassin's Creed.
Really?
I mean, I haven't played a lick of Assassin's Creed ever.
Ever?
Really?
I think you
it's
would.
like
You'd probably get hooked.
It's such a sick game.
Yeah, but the thing is the way I play video games is I'd want to go back and start with the first one.
yeah,
And there's like just from like I've watched other people play Assassin's Creed games, so I know what they're about. And for me to go back and play the first one, I feel like the first one, since the first one, they've tweaked a lot and they've made things a lot less painless
and a lot better.
less grindy.
Yeah.
I
and,
remember I got
everything.
stuck into a wall,
Yeah.
and I didn't get to a save point, and I was stuck in a wall, and I was so far in the game.
dude, I did that too.
I was
one
so
time.
pissed, and I was like, I'm never playing this fucking game again.
I think I rented the game and I got like I was like, and I forget which it might have been one or two, but like there was sometimes you had to go into an area and you had to load, and it never stopped loading, and I didn't save there, and I was like, well, fuck,
Yeah.
I'm taking this back.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
There's always times where you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna leave this open for like an hour or two just to see if it eventually
I'm gonna go to the
loads.
store with my mom,
'Cause
and I'll be right back.
I'm gonna be so boned if this doesn't end up loading.
Dude, that's what happened though. I hate that.
Yeah.
And
Assassin's Creed Unity. Okay.
yeah, and then the Division. So it's been like 2 years that they like presented this like 2 years ago at E3.
Yeah.
The Division.
That was
gonna
2 years ago?
Yeah, 2012. Yeah.
The
That's
Division.
when they first released like an actual like footage, a video of it, like a teaser. And so now it's been pushed back because developers and stuff quit, and then everything else has been happening. So that now it's going to be actually, I guess, getting done this end of this year and maybe the beginning of next year. So hopefully that's coming out soon. The Crew, it's like a driving game, but the cool thing about it that and it's for Xbox One and PS4 and PS3 and Xbox 360. The cool thing about it, you can drive anywhere in America. So it's like Grand Theft Auto. You get out, you get into your map, and you go to Columbus, Ohio. You go to New York City, boop, and it ports you there, and you drive around, and you're an actual like replica of New York City. Or a
Wow.
replica of Columbus. You can go to anywhere in the United States and drive there.
That's sick.
It's so like in what it is technically it's like crew, like so you have like a crew, so you like race with your buddies and stuff like that, and there's racing checkpoints, so it's like kind of like Need for Speed but a little bit more in depth.
So basically, we'll all get it. We'll all find out the best racing route around here, and then we'll go do it in real life.
Do it in real life.
Wow.
Oh,
side by
shit.
side video? Can you imagine?
We'll
Side
have
by
real
side.
videos.
Yeah.
We'll be called the Crew.
So what does it just use like a topographical GPS?
I'm guessing
kinda
like
thing?
yeah, I'm guessing it uses
Like
the
for
maps.
every square inch of the Earth.
No, the United States.
Oh, okay.
Still though, like so you could drive from Pittsburgh to Columbus and it'll take you 5 hours in the game.
The thing is, I don't think you can drive. I think you have to be ported into like an actual state to drive in that certain area. I don't think it's that open
So
world
it
yet.
ends. It ends at a certain point.
Probably. I'm guessing. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Or,
it's coming out E3.
or it
they're
at least
probably-
has to load maybe like continually, kind of like Minecraft does, like as you walk.
Yeah.
The world loads, but still, man, that is gonna be pretty crazy.
I know,
Yeah.
and that's why I think that's pretty cool for a racing game because I used to play Gran Turismo and stuff, and that they just get boring.
But
after a
I mean,
while.
even
Right.
even more than a racing game, like I feel like you can see that kind of thing being implemented in different ways. Like some people might get that game and not use it to race at all.
Yeah.
They just might use it like, for an educational purpose or something else, just to, go explore. Like maybe you don't want to race.
Like drive around.
Like
yeah.
like my
For
sister.
some reason, I don't think it's as open world as that.
I don't know. I really don't. Obviously it's coming out in E3, and they're gonna have more information at
Yeah.
E3. And
That'd be
stuff.
really sick though if it was as open world as what we're acting like it is right now.
I don't. Would it be sick? Because like
I would be driving around in that game like Grand Theft Auto. I hop in a car and just cruise the highways.
All you're doing is driving. And in other driving games, they can make it more like baseline your driving.
Yeah.
But
That's not very interesting.
yeah, well, they
In
said
other
it's, like,
driving
more,
games,
like,
they make
arcade-ish.
it more fun by adding ramps and like crazy roads that you would never see.
Yeah.
So if you just take normal roads that everyone else drives on, it's just like, here you go.
No, but the thing is,
I don't think it'd be that great.
Like-
I think
like-
it'd be cool or cute for like a day, and then I'd just be like,
like I've never
Yeah.
been like
It's a
like
renter.
it's like say
Yeah.
like I've never been to California. I want to drive in California or drive North Carolina on the Dragon Trail or something like that. Like some crazy ass road I've never been on. That
Yeah.
everyone talks about that drives cars and races all the time, or driving like a group that go down to South Carolina or
Probably
go
be cool when you get like a really cool ass like driving wheel controller that comes with it or that goes
definitely.
with it. I guarantee.
you'd be decked out. Oculus
Yeah.
Rift support.
Oculus Rift, that'd be insane.
Dude, I would shit myself. It's like you're in the car.
Yeah.
And you just put a fan in front of you.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Some other titles are coming out. Rainbow Six Patriots, and that's been like 4 years in the making,
Yeah.
and it's been super delayed forever. And that's coming out in E3.
Give me an exciting game.
Yeah.
Destiny, Kingdom Hearts 3. That's exciting, right? Final Fantasy 15, Tomb Raider 2,
Tomb Raider 2.
Tomb Raider.
Hitman, a new Hitman game.
New Hitman game.
The Witcher 3.
Is there anything that isn't a sequel that's coming out?
The Witcher 3. It's an open world fantasy. Feels like Skyrim and Dark Souls 2.
Did I just say sequel?
It's not a sequel. No, it's a new game. It's like based off of mythology from
The Witcher?
The
I
Witcher.
played The Witcher 2.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never played it. Dragon Age. Dragon Age? I don't know.
Dragon Age. Dragon Age is
Dragon Age Origins is come out. But wait.
That's already out.
We need to rewind.
I said 3. I know. I wasn't really
Okay.
paying attention.
Okay.
I knew what I said
You found
afterwards. Afterwards. Okay.
The Witcher 3? No.
No.
It's a new game.
The Order for PS4.
The Order. What's that?
It's an action adventure game. So it's set into 1886, but it's really not technically 1886. It's like a new.
It's like steampunk.
No, it's not steampunk. It's more like an alternate universe of 1886. So it's an alternate
Is it like
history.
was it
Like
FPS
lightsabers?
No. I'm gonna get to that point. Okay, it's set in
there,
London.
Is there puzzles in it?
where an old order of knights keep all the world safe from half-breed monsters.
Does it have Oculus Rift support?
Who are a combination of animal and man. So like you're fighting off these animals and stuff like that.
And
men. They're half animal, half men, or whatever. And so basically, so you have to technology starts to speed up really fast. So like 1886. This is before 1886. So 1886, the setting of 1886, you have guns and shit. So like the actual revolution, like whatever technology revolution, happens really fast because you have to fend off and fight these monsters and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you become more technology advanced and stuff like. So you have to like go through. It's more.
So you evolve and shit.
Yeah. So
it's like an I
third
Spy
person.
game.
Yeah, it's not really a spy game. It's
An
actually
I Spy game.
an I Spy game.
I'm just kidding.
It's an ISP game.
Made from the creators of the book I Spy.
You know what I really want? Have you played, Jim? Have you ever played through the single player versions of Call of Duty games?
It's parts of them. There are ones that I didn't get interested in enough to go all the way through.
Yeah. Have you ever played like the sniper missions or like the stealth missions?
Yeah.
I just want a game that's all that. Like
Yeah.
that. Like anytime I play through a single player Call of Duty, it's usually like a week or sooner prior to the next Call of Duty coming out because I never touch the
Have
single
you played
player.
Sniper Elite?
Yeah, like that
That was pretty shitty though.
Yeah, but those are games that are like maybe trying to do with that, but just not doing it well
Like
enough.
you mean like Activision coming out with just a sniper game?
Not really even a sniper game. Like I'd be totally fine with sometimes you just have a pistol, but you're just
Like Splinter Cell?
Yeah, I was just gonna say Splinter Cell.
maybe like a first person Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
But
I really love
the
the Splinter
even
Cell
the
third
newer,
person.
Even the
though.
newer Splinter Cell, like it's not that stealthy. Like there's a lot of parts where you're just like, I'm just about to fuck everything up.
Yeah.
And
Well, because you can do that in Splinter Cell, but the way you're supposed to play that game is to be a sneaky little bastard.
Yeah, but it doesn't punish you enough for doing it.
Right,
So it's
yeah.
just like,
You're just like, if you're good enough, you just
yeah, and there's ways where you can like multi-lock on to, like 2 or 3 people at the same time and just hit one button and they're all dead.
yeah.
Where maybe that's just, the evolution of games. Where I'm just a stickler for having to aim at everyone else's head.
Yeah. But there's this one game that I played. I almost forget what console it was on. I almost want to say it was on Dreamcast. But it was called The Mark of Cree. And it was about, you were this
That
big,
sounds familiar for some reason. I don't know why.
maybe you played it, and maybe it was on PlayStation or something, or Xbox. But you were this big ass dude with like a big tattoo called the Mark of, I think your name was Cree, and you were like a huge samurai guy,
Yeah.
but you were like a stealth mode.
What?
And you had bow and arrows and a sword, and you just stealth mode the whole time.
What?
It was so sick.
Was it like third person, like Splinter Cell?
Yeah, it was third person. But it was like cartoony kind of, but it was just like, I was like, damn, that sounds like either Splinter Cell or the Mark of
For
Cree.
some reason, I don't know if it's just how clearly you explained it or if it's because I've actually played that game before, but I feel like I have played that game before.
Look it up and just get an image
yeah,
of it real
yeah,
quick.
Mark
because
of Cree.
The Mark of Cree.
Mark of Cree.
Speaking of samurai-ish games, did you guys hear about Battle Cry?
No.
Bethesda's new game?
Oh, shit. Wait
Yeah.
a second. I thought that the CEO of Bethesda just said that they weren't about to announce any new games for a long time.
Well, they just announced it today. Well, as of Wednesday. Mark of Cree with a K or a C?
With a K.
K-R-I?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The Mark of Cree.
It says Mark of Cree PS2.
PS2.
Oh yeah, this cover looks quite familiar.
Does
I
it?
feel
Let me
like
see it.
This might have been one that I rented.
Yeah, dude. That game was the
I've
shit.
seen that before.
Yeah,
It's such a sick game.
yeah. You actually.
I think I bought it used. And
Your name
because
is
it was
Rao.
cheap.
Or Rao.
Oh, Ryu.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Ryu.
That's Street Fighter.
Ryu.
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 Yeah. But no. So what were you saying?
You were saying something. Bethesda's new game.
Yeah, you said
Oh
some
yeah,
new
yeah.
games coming out.
You were saying Bethesda just. And where did you hear that?
Twitter.
Oh.
The
Okay.
CEO said it on Twitter
Oh really?
Well, what did he say?
that Bethesda wasn't going to announce any new games for a while. He said that like last week.
Well, it's probably be like everybody like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're releasing this game now.
Wait, Bethesda, they did Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, that's exactly who it was.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I
crazy.
mean,
Because people were
So
anticipating a new
what's
Fallout
the new game
at
coming that's
C3.
out?
so this is.
Are you gonna play the video?
Yeah, I was gonna play it for you guys. This is whoopsies. Yeah, I was gonna. It just got announced today.
So it's probably gonna be E3 too. Is it just a PC game or is it just like it's for all platforms?
It's a free to play PC game.
oh,
free to
I watched
play.
that video.
Yeah, so it's called Battle Cry, and basically what it's been compared to is kind of like a Team Fortress, but without
playing.
guns. It's not playing. It was playing, you douche nozzle, until you touched it.
No, it wasn't playing that
Wasn't
either.
playing
That's why
at
I
all.
touched it. There we go.
So yeah, it's I don't want to like tell you guys about it before you see what happens, but it's a pretty cool trailer. It doesn't really show any gameplay necessarily. It's more of like a hype trailer, kind of like. Did you guys ever see the Elder Scrolls
It
Online
reminds me
trailer?
kind of like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy a little bit. There's just like the characters and whatever.
Yeah, I mean maybe the cutscene's really well done, so that might be what hints at Final Fantasy. But
No, I'm just saying like they're like she has like a huge ass sword.
but I
and
mean
stuff like that.
gameplay wise, it'll be nothing like Final Fantasy.
Well, I
Like,
know that it's
yeah.
not gonna be like that.
Is it going to be like open world like all Bethesda games?
It's a 32-man multiplayer game.
Wow.
Like a free to play 32-man multiplayer game, but there's no
Is there any classes or no?
It's been related to kind of like Team Fortress, but without the gunpowder. So there's no guns.
Oh.
There's bow and arrow, which you can kind of see in the video, but it's just all
crossbow?
melee.
Why is it free to play?
Well, I mean, the free to play model is really popular.
well, now and then they could be like, oh, if you want to upgrade, you can.
Well,
buy this
not,
little-
I don't think it'll be free to play, pay to win. I
Well, I don't
honestly,
think pay to win, but like just like Hearthstone, you can buy packs if you want.
yeah.
Or you can just
But I mean,
play.
even like if you think of the game, League of Legends, like the only money you can spend is on cosmetic things. So like Hearthstone isn't even that free to play. Like Hearthstone, you can buy packs which get you more cards, which can possibly give you an edge.
Yeah.
League of Legends is like, no, you don't get any edge at all, regardless of whether you spend
You have
money
to
or
put
not.
time into the game.
But you can spend money to make your character look different than other people, and they
Yeah.
still make. I forget how much money they made last year, but it was just billions if not millions, or millions if not billions of dollars, and it's
Billions or millions?
yeah, both of them.
Both of them.
So
Oh shit! She just cut that guy's head off.
yeah, so I mean I guess this is I think I'm
So
totally
there's no
fine with.
gameplay footage.
No, it was
I
just
kind
all
of hate
cutscene.
that when they don't ever show.
Well,
gameplay
it
footage.
says
Like,
the beta is
point.
coming. It's in sometime in 2015.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
jeez.
watching that today.
Those are
too.
the
Yeah.
kind of videos where you're just like, why did you release this? Because
Yeah.
now I want to play this game, and I'm not going to get to for probably at least another 2 years.
just forget about it. Yeah.
Well, just like the
Forget
Division.
you.
It's like
Forget
Division when they
you.
like release Division's like teaser, and you're like, why did you do that?
Yeah, but and that's also another big point about that is we can compare it to something that just came out, Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
Like Watch Dogs, I was watching a video where some guy went through and recreated the opening, the area that they demoed for the when he like went and hacked the traffic light and everything, and he was like walking through it. He did everything that the dude was walking through, and he did a side by side. And the one on the demo looked so much better because it's all like pre-rendered and everything, so it looks so much cleaner and so much, just the rain and everything looks so much better. And it's just like, I don't know, it's almost kind of like a maybe that's what they're going for, is they're just like, oh, we want to make it look way better than it's going to, just to get people hyped for it.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of a downside, because then when you finally get to play the game, you have that memory, maybe not as fresh as maybe my memory is a little bit more fresh than other people's, who would just have like a vague memory of
Now I'm
it.
gonna
but-
go watch this and buy it and be like, what the hell?
yeah, but I mean, no, I mean it still plays the same, but like the when he got into that gunfight, or when he made the traffic light turn red, and there was like that huge crash on the demo, like he made the traffic light turn red, and then like there was one car and it stopped, and then there was a car way behind it, and it just floored into it, just like out of
Yeah.
nowhere. You're just like, that's not realistic, like that wouldn't really happen.
Right.
So it was just like, when you have these quote unquote gameplay videos,
Yeah.
how many times did they really have to do that, or was that all just scripted and coded in to where
Right.
they just ran that scenario using the engine? But I mean, they just
yeah.
make it look so perfect, and then like the slow motion bullet battles, like it would just look so much, like it just looks so much cooler on the demo than it did in the real game, which is, I guess, to be expected. I think initially and just instinctively, when we see videos like that, we want that to be how the game really turns out.
Right.
Where I
think
guess
it's been
deep
like
in our
that since
mind,
like PS2.
Yeah.
Well, there
And all the
was-
cutscenes.
Back
Like,
when
like the original
God, I
God of
know.
War.
Yeah.
When that game started, I was like, what the hell is going on? Like,
Yeah.
this is sweet. And it still
Insane.
was a sweet game, but it was just like the graphics got, after the cutscene, it was just like, all right, this is PS2 graphics.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's
But-
a guy you hooked. You're like, oh, I really want to play this.
Yeah.
game.
Well, when the commercial, I remember that there was like a big controversy when the commercial for Dante's Inferno came out, because they were like, I don't know, and I have no idea why there was so much controversy, because they were like, the first commercial for Dante's Inferno was just like the commercial for Battlecry there, where there's no gameplay, it was just a cinematic, and people were like, this isn't the real game or something like that, and it was like, duh, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I saw it on the news, like somehow the news made a hyped up story about like
slow
how-
news day.
yeah, it was slow. Like Dante, new video game tricks people into buying it with commercial. I was like,
Was
who-
it even
who
out
the
at that point, or was it just like a teaser?
It was like after the game came out or something,
Oh, okay.
and it was like, who the fuck thought that was the real gameplay?
Yeah. That is a little interesting though.
It's all a scheme.
If
But
you
it was
if you're
only
just
Dante's Inferno, I
yeah,
saw
but if
it.
you're just showing a cutscene and the game is already out, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Because normally, sometimes in game trailers, like you'll show, it'll start out with a cutscene, and then but at the end it always usually splices in like some fast cuts of like all the gameplay,
battle
so you
going,
can
yeah.
just kind of see what you're getting into. I mean, that being said, if someone bought it expecting that to be the game, then they're just stupid. Like,
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
I just don't see it being justified in that way. But I do think it's kind of weird that they wouldn't show any of the gameplay. Maybe that's what they were banking on, was people just
Well, I don't know why. 'cause
buying
I
it
thought
without
it was a great game.
yeah. Well, it was a pretty sweet game.
I mean, it was God of War.
yeah, it was definitely God of War. But they did decent job of replicating what God of War did. So,
Right.
You know, if you loved God of War, you could just glide right through that game like nothing ever happened. But yeah, so I don't know. Do you really like? I'm just thinking from a marketing standpoint, like, yeah, maybe they can sucker some people into buying their game because they don't know what the game looks like, and that's what they think the game looks like.
Yeah.
But what does that produce for you other than angry customers who want their money back?
Really true.
So, I don't know.
I don't know why they wouldn't show. It was a cool cutscene. I remember.
Yeah.
I forget what the cutscene was. It was like it dragged his girlfriend or his wife into a pit of fire or something like that.
Well, one thing that reminded me of was the Diablo 3 when it came out for PS3 or consoles, I guess. Did it come out for Xbox or was it just PS3?
I'm not
PS3,
really sure.
I think.
I think it's
PS3 only?
PS3, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when it came out for PS3, the commercials I don't think they showed any gameplay.
No, it was just like all those like it was actual like they were more like funny than anything. Yeah.
Well, the original Diablo commercials, I don't even know if they got released, but I did see them on YouTube a while back, and they were creepy as
Really?
hell.
Really?
Yeah. The original Diablo 3 for console commercials, I'm sure you can find them on YouTube if you dig hard enough, but they were just like, there were like 3 or 4 spots that they did, and they were just like really, really creepy. So and then to see, the ones that eventually came out on TV that were all lighthearted, like 4 people like playing like, hey, you wanna
Like their
make it
clothes
a
are all over the
foursome or
ground.
something like that.
Yeah.
Come and
that's
join
right.
us. We'll be a foursome.
Yeah. But
Dude, that game was fun as shit though. Playing multiplayer.
yeah.
on-
I think
With a whole bunch
when-
of people?
When
Yeah.
the when the
Yeah.
You guys,
expansion
yeah, it
when the
was fun.
expansion comes out, we'll probably go ahead and
Get some
just-
game footage of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just grab that up. I don't know. Diablo
that
is always like a
beautiful
weird
pizza.
game. You're just like, do I want to record this? Like, do I not want to record it? It's a really long game.
Yeah.
So,
We'll definitely have to play it.
yeah. I mean, it'll
We can
definitely be a
stream
stream game. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But other than that, Mario Kart. New Mario Kart's coming out.
I saw you
Super
watching
Smash
a video of
Brothers?
that.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
They're saying it's a hit. It's gonna be a hit.
yeah. Well, I mean, Mario Kart is a pretty big staple. Mario Kart is one of those where Nintendo's like, yeah, this is gonna make us money. So
And
let's
Super
just make
Smash too.
it. Well,
And
Super
Smash,
Smash
yeah.
isn't coming out yet, but yeah.
Well, you can play it in Best Buy.
Can you really?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
gonna be, it's
this
gonna be
Saturday,
released.
right?
Yeah, it's gonna be released to Best Buy, and you can go in and play it.
It's so weird because they're just gonna release it to Best Buy, and then it's just like, oh, we're taking it back. You
Yeah,
can play
what
for
the
one day,
fuck?
and that's it.
It's
Yeah.
just one day.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's for one. I mean, I think it
bet
might
the
be
people that work at Best Buy are like, "Fuck me." This.
No, the
Super
people that
Bowl.
work at Best Buy are like, all right, I'm just gonna steal a copy of this.
Yeah, really. I'll take a.
The one copy that they got is all of a sudden missing.
Yeah.
Schemes, man.
schemes.
One more thing that I wanted to add:
Yeah.
Google.
Google.
It's all about Google.
It's all about Google.
Oh, Google's taking over the world.
Google is taking over the
Which
world.
which Google story are you going to talk about?
Yeah, which one?
The way
The car?
I'm talking about
The
no,
car?
No,
Oh, what?
The house?
no.
The toaster?
I'm talking about the way that they're planning on taking over the world.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
How they changed
Thinking the
their,
brain?
They changed their logo.
You know
A,
what?
a smidge change.
I didn't get to see what the smidge was.
Yeah, it's the second G and the accompanying L. They just moved it a little.
Move a
bit.
little
Moved it
bit.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
Or I like
Yeah,
how
like,
like
what the hell?
you can see like over there's like this like thing
Before
that
and
shows
after.
you, yeah, like the actual like very first Google logo to like now, and you like it has like a series of them, and you can see like how the O's are a little bit different. Like
Yeah.
they shaved a little bit
But
off.
it's just
the
like
O.
when you're a company as big as Google, how much time, how many people do you think were involved
A
in
lot of
that
people. I feel like a
little
shitload of
tiny
people.
move?
Yeah.
Like literally just someone opened up the file on their computer and they just hit the down arrow and the right arrow once. It's like, all right, yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
right. There's no way. Like they're like, we're gonna change Google logo, and everyone's like, no,
Yeah.
we're
they
just
got
moving the
whole
L.
pit of cranes and shit at the building, like
Yeah.
moving the L over a little bit on the
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
No, over to the left. Over
Over
to
to
the
the
left. Too far.
Oh, Sergey's gonna kill you.
Yeah, but if you think about it,
okay.
and like you were saying, the how you could see like the very first Google logo to now, it's just like when you're a company as big as Google, you can't make drastic changes. So what they do all the time is they just make these little tiny
They
changes.
do it a lot though. They
Yeah.
change the Google logo a lot.
But
like,
then
little things.
But
here
if
and
it's
there.
so like you would never be able to tell that. You would
Yeah.
never, unless there was an article about it or like a before and after photo.
like a GIF, like
you would, yeah, you
like
would
of all of
never,
them.
you would never be able to tell.
I think I skipped over that article because the article was like, "Here's the new Google logo," and it was just Google, and I was like, "That's not new."
yeah, that's not new.
That's not new. The untrained
Well,
eye.
I was gonna skip over it, but then I was like, wait, I have to see what's different with this. At first,
Yeah.
I thought they changed maybe like a color of one of the letters, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that looks exactly the same, but I don't know.
Google is taking over the world.
And
That was one of the trivia questions.
Yeah.
I was playing a trivia game
Oh,
one
you
day,
were?
and they were like, "What is the?" Well, let's see if you guys know. Without looking, what is the fourth letter in Google? What color is it?
Blue.
Red.
It's blue.
I have no
Is it
idea.
really?
Yeah.
That was a guess.
Yeah,
It's like a
it was a
super
guess.
guess.
When I answered it, I guessed too, and I guessed blue, and it was right. So,
Oh, okay.
but like I was playing with family and friends, and they're like, "Oh my god, you're so tech savvy and everything." I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah.
But,
Oh, okay.
but inside my head, I was just like, "Yeah, I just
That was a
got
good
super
guess.
lucky." Yeah.
How about the Google car though? That's crazy.
The Google car.
Self-driving car.
Self-
No
Self-driving
steering
car.
wheel, no brakes.
Yeah, there's just a button in the center
Can you imagine
console.
just getting in a box like that? If things go wrong, there's no way
in
for
the
you to fix
video,
it.
in the
Dude.
video, this blind guy gets in the car.
Yeah.
How crazy would that be? Being blind and being so like dependent on other people to help
I'm
you
not
to
thinking
get
about
places.
being blind. I'm thinking about getting drunk. That's so awesome.
No, did you
Yeah.
hear? Am I? It's gonna replace.
the bar, Google car.
Google. Google. I'm gonna go home.
Where do you live, sir? Step out of the vehicle now.
There is no drunk riding.
There's no
You
drunk
threw up
riding.
all over me. Get out.
It only goes 25 miles per hour, but I wouldn't have a problem with that as long as I.
Do
just
you
got
want it
home.
going any faster? A
that
self-driving
would be
car?
scary.
Yeah, I
Scary
want
as
it to go light
balls.
speed, actually.
You're
I don't
Like
give a
70
shit.
miles an hour, and you're like,
Take the wheel. Google, take the wheel.
Oh my god, we should end it right there.
Oh wow! All right. Any closing thoughts, statements?
Closing arguments.
Any
Closing arguments?
any clothing thoughts for this
Clothing.
week? Nothing. Wow. Clearly nothing. I guess that's a wrap,
Yeah.
as they say in the biz. We will see you guys all
Cut.
next week.
And good night.
Good night.
good night.
Oops. Still going.
Sorry.